can't be more proud of the guys. It was a great feeling leaving that stadium, knowing how the game started, how you felt. It was kind of a roller coaster of emotions. To end that game, it was just, man, they can't tell us nothing now.
Hey everyone, welcome into TexAgs Rewind here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. This show is brought to you by our good friends at Specs. I'm David Nuno. Got Nick Savage behind the glass and Callie Garner with us. All right, Nick, you go first. Favorite part of the show?
My favorite part of the show was Chris Phillips, obviously.
Yes, obviously, Chris Phillips.
No, it was like Chris, whatever it was.
There was a Max Headroom piece to that, and I want you guys to Google what I'm talking about when it comes to Max Headroom. Callie, your favorite part of the show was?
Jamie Morrison.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
I really like talking Aggie volleyball.
I know, right?
I've gotten really invested in them this year, and he makes it exciting to hear about.
Not only are they good, but when you hear him talk, it's like, I'm rooting for that guy.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Yep.
Yeah.
Joni Taylor, rooting for her and the Aggie women's basketball team that are starting on Monday against Corpus Christi. Who else did we have on the show? Jamie McCoy. He was really good on the program. And we did our top performances from the weekend. That and more. It is the Rewind. I mean, you got two, like, for sure.
I'll start with Marcel Reed.
Okay, give me Marcel Reed.
I think Marcel Reed, of course, just we all know he was amazing. He comes in and it seems like he ran for more than 62 yards. I think it was 62 yards.
Yep. It's because it was a short side of the field. That's why.
He took advantage of that, but it wasn't just the way he ran the ball in for touchdowns. It was just the way he seemed to inspire that offense as well. And, he only completed 2 passes, but they were both really nice throws on scoring drives.
Yeah, Marcel was phenomenal. The other one, we got to go defensively, right?
Of course.
Who would that be?
I would say B.J. Mays.
I would agree with you. Yeah, like, how could you not go?
2 interceptions.
I mean, what a performance. 2 tackles, 2 picks, 29 return yards in the game. And really, the difference in the game was when he made that pick. Yes, the timing of everything worked out so perfect, right? You get a short field from Marcel, get some confidence on that first play. He gets that quick touchdown.
But, what did we see? What if he had intercepted the ball at the 40?
What we saw was the team that scored every time they wanted to.
Yeah, what did we see that was going to tell you that LSU was going to stop them no matter where the ball was?
They weren't going to.
The only time they stopped them, they stopped A&M's offense one time in the second half, and that was when A&M took a knee 3 times to run out the clock.
That's the only time.
Hey, look, you know what?
And the field goal they should have scored. I mean, there was a penalty, right? Am I remembering that correctly? There was a penalty. Didn't Le'Veon score on a touchdown, or somebody scored on a touchdown? They took it back, and we had to kick a field goal.
Well, I know.
Oh, the blind. There you go.
Yeah, but they still scored a touchdown on that.
They scored. You're right.
Yeah.
My bad.
In fact, I think it was Marcel from 4 yards. And we, look, the guy that gets overshadowed, actually I thought in retrospect, was key to the game, and Callie's already mentioned him once. It's Tyler White.
Oh gosh, yeah, he's on the list.
When you first of all average 48 yards of 50 and 3 50-yard punts or 4 50-yard punts, but when LSU's average starting field position after a punt is their 13.
Yeah,
always giving them a long field. That's just one of those things that it gets overlooked, but except by coaches, because it's so important.
The 12th man in Kyle Field had an absolute effect on that game. And folks who want to discredit Kyle Field because A&M hasn't had the best, they haven't dominated at Kyle Field the last few years. There's a reason A&M beats top 10 teams here on special magical nights. They haven't had amazing teams per se, but they affect games. And this year alone, they beat 2 top 10 teams already at Kyle Field. Now, you want to argue later on if they're going to be top 10 teams. What they were until they got here, they were top 10 teams, and A&M's got 2 of those already under Coach Elko.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and I think it's all a credit to the coaching staff. Like you said, we've been underdogs in a lot of these games where we played the Alabamas back in the Big 12 days, whether it was Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, you name it. We're typically the underdog in those big games, and 12th man does its part in helping us go out there and shine against those top opponents. But I think this season the credit goes to not only Elko, but the entire coaching staff, whether it's the strength staff, the guys on the sideline, the guys in the press box, and certainly the second half adjustments. I think these guys have a plan. They see how you're trying to attack, and they go in and say, we need to do this. Like they have something to go to. It's not like we're grasping or pulling at straws. It's saying, okay, this ain't working. This is how they're doing that. We're going to switch and we're going to go to this, and this is going to open up. I mean, they saw a lot of man coverage in the first half, and we made it look like man and disguise it. And Elko has always been a genius in that aspect. So, man, again, I hate to go back to it, but I can't be more proud of the guys. It was a great feeling leaving that stadium, knowing how the game started, how you felt. It was kind of a roller coaster of emotions. To end that game, it was just, man, they can't tell us nothing now.
Talking to Jamie Morrison, and obviously volleyball's having such a great season, and they're expecting to get. And you look at that group of coaches that all kind of came in right around the same time. You all, I don't want to call it a competition. You're rooting for each other. But, like, I believe that all of you are setting a tone for the next sport to do the same thing and beyond.
Well, like, there's great camaraderie between all of us. I mean, I talk to Jamie all the time. Trish Ford is that group. Obviously, Mike Elko now is part of that group, baseball. So we are fortunate that we have really elite head coaches. Buzz is somebody who I lean on all the time just because of how great he is in so many areas. And so we're just fortunate to have a group of coaches who share information, who believe in each other, and who are willing participants in everybody's, success and wanting everybody to do well.
Aisha Coulibaly selected to the 2024 Coaches All SEC preseason team. I don't want to say expectations, but just talk about the player that she is and has become.
You know what I think a lot of people missed about her last year is that not only was she our leading scorer, but she did it and changed positions. She was the forward. She played the 4 spot at Auburn. And, just in our conversations in the recruiting process with her, David, she talked about, her concern of playing in the post and, at the professional level because of her size, knowing that she would probably be a guard and that she didn't feel like she was ready to do that. And so we made a commitment to her that we would work on her guard skills and play her at the guard position. And so, for her to come into a new program, learn a new system, have new coaches, but also do that while changing positions and still be more efficient. Her numbers are off the charts in all those areas and be our leading scorer. I think it speaks volumes to just who she is, her work ethic, her talent level, obviously. And she's picked up right where she left off. She's shooting the ball well. She's healthy. Just really excited about all the areas that she can impact the game.
David, I was got to say, man, if I'm going to save my College Station trip, it's got to be for the big one. I think you know the one I'm talking about, the final week
New
of the
Mexico
season.
State?
Yeah, New Mexico State. Yeah. No, I may Prize Picks may have to break the bank for that one, but no, the plan, man, is to be there for the Lone Star Showdown. So I just felt like looking at the schedule, man, I was certainly considering coming last weekend for the LSU game, but just felt like there's no better matchup, no better time than to see Kyle Field and College Station at its very, very best for a game that hasn't taken place in over a decade, man. So that is the plan right now, to be in College Station and be hanging out with you guys for that game against Texas.
All right, let's talk about Kyle Field for a moment, because to me, man, that place was freaking electric against LSU. And I can only imagine what the atmosphere is going to be like on November 30th. Watching it from television, what'd you think of A&M's second half surge against LSU?
Well, David, number one, it feels like Kyle Field's one of those places. I don't think TV is going to do it justice for what that environment is, and that's why I'm so excited to experience it firsthand, obviously later this season. But, the crowd, the environment, the atmosphere, the buildup, I think obviously made an impact. But I thought more importantly what made an impact was Texas A&M physically imposing their will in that second half against the LSU Tigers. That was something that jumped out to me. I know we've talked about him a lot, David, but Tommy Moffitt, the impact he's had on this program from a strength and conditioning standpoint, and just the physicality that a Mike Elko coach team brings to the table. And again, you saw that take over in the second half. I thought obviously some big plays defensively, getting Garrett Nussmeier really uncomfortable. We knew he was prone to turning the football over, and for everything that he's done well to this point, he's been a guy that has shown that, you can get the football off him. I thought A&M did a really good job of that. I thought Mike Elko would have a great plan and did. And then obviously, man, Marcel Reed, coming in and being the spark plug for the offense, and only threw 2 passes, 2 beautifully thrown balls, and completed them both. But the running ability, just the different dynamic he brings to the offensive side, you couple all that together. Man, I walked away so wildly impressed with A&M outscoring LSU 31-6 in the second half. And, admittedly, David, this from our conversations in the preseason, early season. I was a little hesitant to kind of dive all in and drink the Kool-Aid. I'm doing so now with Texas A&M. I mean, this Aggie squad controls their destiny going into the month of November when it comes to SEC championship, college football playoff. All your dreams and hopes and goals are right there in front of you, and I think that says a lot. What a job by Mike Elko and staff, and again, Tommy Moffitt as well on the strength and conditioning side. I mean, what they did in that second half, I think, really speaks to the job he's done as well.
All right, Callie, close it out for us.
Like, comment, subscribe, share, tell all your friends, and watch us every morning at 8 a.m. on TexAgs Live.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.